Welcome to Crossroads. I'm Kyle. We exist to guide you on the adventurous life that God has designed you for. This is the hero's journey, where we're uncovering your path to greatness. Every week of the hero's journey, you're being given a mission. To go on a journey and discover the hero that God made you to be. You'll face people who want to stop you, obstacles, fears, reasons to quit, but if you persevere, you'll find yourself down a path to greatness. This week, Brian's going to talk about that path and how it's not about being great, it's about doing great. But I'm not really sure what our mission is supposed to be. It's supposed to get delivered, I think oh, there it is. There, okay. Great, got the dossier here. Let's open it up, see what's inside. Really important message. It says, this week's mission is not in this dossier. Okay, I'm not sure why I went through all that effort then. It was too risky to send on foot. Instead, Brian will receive a call on a red phone. There it is, at some point in the episode. Okay, great. Then I guess let's hear from Brian.
At its most base level, what is a hero? Elon Musk, he's a tech genius and he makes a pretty good car, but is he a hero? Drake is great at rapping and providing Instagram captions to a generation, but is he a hero? Kylie Jenner has amazing business acumen, youngest billionaire ever, I think, but is she a hero? That's what we're talking about today. My name is Brian Tome, Senior Pastor here at Crossroads. Let me just pray for you real briefly. God, help us to get your truth in us. Amen. What a hero is someone was in need and now they have that need met. And if you ever had that done for you, if you've been ran out of gas on the side of the road and somebody came and brought you gas, that person was a hero. If there was ever too much month at the end of your money and somebody actually helped you pay a bill, that person was a hero. If there's ever somebody who watched your kids in a pinch, that person is a hero. Meeting needs. Jesus met needs again and again and again, which is why he's the ultimate hero, which is why we date time after him, which is why this journey is ultimately about him. I'm going to take a look at one of his more classic vignettes in his life. It's from the book of John, chapter 13, and let's just read it together. Here's what it says. Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands and that he had come from God and was going back to God, rose from supper. He laid aside his outer garments, and taking a towel, he tied it around his waist. And then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel that was wrapped around him. We're in this week 3 of the hero journey where we're trying to figure out how I could be great, how I could be a hero. Not that anyone ever aspires to be one, but who is a hero? And we see why Jesus is great. We see why he's a hero to millions, if not billions of people around the world for centuries. This is the scene known as the Last Supper. This is right before Jesus is going to be arrested, tried, and crucified. He's having his Last Supper before then, and everyone comes into the room to eat, and as they come into the room to eat, they recognize something's missing here, but no one says anything because it's very, very awkward. And they go to eat, and they would have been tables that are about yo-high, and they sit down on these tables. They would have been on their knees on pillows, and they're sitting there, and they kind of have their legs up. Yes, this is a core workout, unless you're wondering. There is no CG that is keeping my legs under me. Yes, my core is that strong. Yes, I know you're impressed. Nonetheless, they're sitting like this, and therefore, someone else is sitting like that, and their feet are in my face, and my feet are in their face. Nobody likes feet in their face, especially not after someone has walked on dirt for miles and walked through places where donkeys, come along donkey, where donkeys and where camels have walked. Your feet were disgusting. Therefore, when you rented a room like they did in the upper room, what normally would come with it would be somebody to wash the guests' feet. That person wasn't there. That servant wasn't there. And so awkwardly, no one wants to do this. They just head to the table, and Jesus decides he's going to be the one to actually wash the feet. It says he takes off his outer garment, and he takes off his outer garment, and he goes down onto his knees to wash feet. While he's down there, it says outer garment. So does he have an undergarment on? We don't know. Some people think he had an undergarment on. He's there in his undergarment. Some people believe, no, the outer garment's off, and that's the garment. That's the only garment he had. And it says he takes a towel and wraps it around his waist, which is what you would have done if you were actually entirely naked. There he is, washing.
Hello?
Hello, kind of in the middle of some.
Heroes, your mission this week is top secret. Shut the doors, stop all recording devices, put your phones away except this old-timey red one. Okay, everyone ready? This is your mission. Go love somebody, anonymously. Your printed guide will help you figure out an undercover hero mission to do this week, complete with a calling card. Good luck, and goodbye, heroes.
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try
Okay.
again. If you need help, hang up and...
Shh! All right, sneak up along the side of the building. No, over here, that building!
I'd actually like to pay for the car behind me too, please.
Today I'm gonna buy somebody's gas for them and they have no idea it's coming.
Secret hero mission. Bring to a good home.
Thank you.
Not doing anything.
You have the best hair. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
That's the kind of stuff we're looking at in the guide this week. Make sure you do that. But he's down on his hands and knees washing the disgusting feet of his disciples. We're uncomfortable thinking of Jesus like this. We're uncomfortable thinking of Jesus on his knees, naked, washing feet. We're uncomfortable with the scene of the cross, the crucifixion. If you're Catholic, you're seeing crucifixions or depictions of Jesus on the cross. If you're Protestant, he's always up there, and what's happened? There's a towel around his midsection. He didn't have any towel on when he was on the cross. He was stripped naked, and he was beaten. That's part of the humiliation that took place with him. This is how he serves us and meets us in our needs. He actually gets humiliated on our behalf. The Bible says that God is a God of justice, and if he's not just, then he's not good. And there has to be justice for our sin, for our choices. And Jesus served us and met a need by going to the cross and serving justice on our behalf and having himself stripped and beaten. for us. So we wouldn't have to be stripped and beaten. Not that God would do that to you, but God doesn't ever beat you or punish you once you come into relationship with him. That's a core tenet of Christianity because Jesus bore our shame. Isaiah says that by his stripes we are healed. And this ultimate humiliating sacrifice of Jesus meeting our needs at the end of his life, he's doing it right now. He's on his hands and knees, washing feet. How would you feel if someone was sticking their fingers between your toes, getting all the dirt? It's kind of gross. Have you ever had that done to you? I have. If you've had that done to you, I know one thing about you. You grew up in church. That's what I know about you. If you've had that done to you, you've been in churchy circles. Because church people love doing this, and we should. We should, actually. Because when we read the Bible, we're supposed to do what's in the Bible. It's a good idea. But sometimes we go a little too far in that we replicate certain scenes from the Bible that don't need to be replicated. You don't need to replicate putting yourself on a cross. Don't need to do that. And you don't need to replicate washing somebody's feet. Because here's the missing component for us today. While symbolically we might do that because we say, I want to serve you, realistically, we're not helping anybody at all. Nobody needs their feet washed. We're just not walking through dirt. We don't want that. I mean, if someone's going to come over and they're going to mow my grass, okay. Someone wants to come over even brush my teeth for me. That's a little weird, but at least I'm going to brush my teeth. If you want to do it for me, okay. This is what a hero does. He sees what is needed, what you want, and he washes feet. It's uncomfortable, and the disciples were very uncomfortable as well. That's what the next section says. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, Lord, do you wash my feet? And Jesus answered him, what I am doing you do not understand, but afterward you will understand. And Peter said to him, you shall never wash my feet. And Jesus answered him, if I do not wash your feet, you have no share with me. Simon Peter said to him, Lord, do not my feet only, don't do them only, but also my hands and my head. Peter's highly uncomfortable, and he needed his feet done. He was highly uncomfortable because he didn't want Jesus naked on his knees before him, washing his feet. It was highly uncomfortable for him. And Jesus says, hey, if you're not going to have me serve you, then you're just not fit for me. When we don't like things like the cross, when we say that's disgusting, I don't want that, that's too barbaric, that's too ancient, we're basically saying to Jesus, I don't want the way you serve me. And Jesus says, if you will not allow me to serve you, then you don't go any me. And when Peter hears this, says, okay, fine, do my feet and do my belly button too, do my whole body, I don't care, do the whole body because I want you, that's what I want. This is why Peter is such a hero. He's always aggressive. He's always pushing. And so he's like, okay, if that's what it takes, then keep doing it. Keep washing more. The story continues in verse 12. When he had washed their feet and put on his outer garments, put his clothes back on, and resumed his place, he said to them, do you not understand what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for I am. If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, and you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example, that you also should do just as I have done to you. Truly, truly, I say to you, a servant is not greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. If you know these things, blessed are you if you do them. They are very uncomfortable about what Jesus is doing, and he says, look, I am your master and I am your teacher. And if you don't want to do what your master and what your teacher is doing, then you're not fit. Because a servant's not greater than his master, and I'm your master, and you just saw me serve. And if you, as my servant, don't want to do what your master's done and serve, then you're missing it. There's something fundamentally wrong with you. If you and I can't name and identify ways and places that we've gone out of our way to serve others, which might make us a hero in their eyes and might not make a hero in their eyes. It doesn't matter. What matters is we're serving Jesus, our master, our teacher, our Lord, who's established for us a way to live. And Jesus says to us, blessed are you if you hear about these ideas. No, he doesn't say that. He doesn't say, blessed are you if you have warm emotions about serving. No, he says, blessed are you if you do it. If you do it.
Back to Brian in just a minute. I want to take a second to talk about giving. Everything we do at Crossroads is only made possible through the generosity of faithful people who respond to God's call to mirror his character through generosity. If you want to join that community, you can do that simply by taking our tithe test. Go to crossroads.net/tithe test. Works like this. You try tithing for 90 days. And if at the end of those 90 days, you don't experience more of God, we'll give you all of your money back. Second, college camp is coming up. If you're in college, you need to get to college camp. It's an amazing experience designed just for you. I'll be there at it. I get to be one of the teachers, super pumped for it. Before we get back to Brian, I want you to take a look at this story. Here's somebody from our community who's finding that the path to greatness goes right through serving.
I'm Miles. I serve at Crossroads Uptown on the Connections team. So I always had a relationship, I would say, with God. It was just a matter of making it my own. And in college is really when I kind of took the reins of my faith and said, this is what I want to do with my life. And that has just allowed me to see God in a whole different light. I grew up, was an only child, so everything I did was had to make friends and be super, super extroverted and outgoing, getting to know people on a deeper level and really connecting with them. But as I, got into this serving role and kind of came into where I am in my faith, I was oh, these are gifts that I can use to give to other people, and didn't think that could be used as a way to, be a light in God's kingdom and to really bring people into it. I went to the University of Cincinnati. He really wanted to get connected and know some more people and just have a community. So took the chance and came to Crossroads Uptown with a couple of friends who had invited me, and ended up running into the former college director over there. And I was I want to get more connected around here. And he's you'd be great on the Connect team. I was okay, awesome. What does that entail? He's smile, wave, point people, or show them exactly where we need to go. And just kind of be the first face people see when they walk in the doors. And from there, it just kind of went and turned into what it is today. Using those traits, that way God's given them, has definitely filled me. It's allowed me to be more intentional on the way that I smile, the way that I talk, the way that I just interact with people on a day-to-day basis. And it's just allowed me to be better at my job and friendships, all across the board. Just being more in tune with these traits and these gifts has allowed me to just, tenfold be a better Miles. It's really cool just seeing how God's worked. And it just came from stepping out on a limb and just trusting that, wherever I land is going to be somewhere beautiful. And, here we are 5 years later, and it's pretty beautiful. So I look forward to Sunday mornings so much, and I enjoy getting to serve. And it's amazing getting to see, the same faces, familiar faces, but then, connecting with them. Hey, what's your name? I see you here all the time. So definitely getting to just feel closer to God and feel like you're getting to do something that is his work, that he's designed you to do, is really cool.
I had somebody close to me recently who's a senior citizen have an accident, and there wasn't anybody in their sphere to help them out. They had their car towed away, and they came back to their house, and they had no way to get stuff that was in the car, and they have a lot of struggles, as all of us will eventually with age. And so I went down and had to get all the stuff out of their car and take it back to them. Not sure if it's totaled or not, but let's just get it. So I went down, I got all that stuff out, came up and dropped it off. And when I came up, they said, oh, I just found out I need the license plate taken off. I was I thought to myself, I got to get to work this morning. I kind of left the house early so I get to work, and I got to go to work. And I started thinking, I thought, no, I am talking about service this week. I am talking about doing things for people that they need and would appreciate. I kind of said, hey, can we set an appointment later on to wash your feet? How about if I do that instead? Can we do that? So I felt that nudge of God, and so went all the way back down to that yard where that car was towed and got the license plate and came back. And as I was doing that, I wasn't sure which was more important to me, that I was serving this elderly couple, or if I was serving my God, my ultimate hero, because I know exactly that's what he would have done. This is a decision that you and I have. Will we do what needs to be done for people who are close to us and around us? I go to various pastors' meetings, and one pastor meeting I was in, a bunch of pastors, different kind of churches. There was an African-American pastor, a friend of mine, who said, look, he wasn't a friend of mine then, I just met him. He said, look, I don't need any more foot washing ceremony. Don't need anybody coming to wash my feet. And what he meant by that was, it's awkward when white people want to wash my feet because they feel like they're serving me. And what he said was, if you want to serve me, meet some of my needs. Help us in the way that there are unjust things that are happening in culture. Help come alongside me and people in my church who have significant needs. But you kind of just having an emotional moment and washing my feet as an African-American pastor, he said, does nothing for me. Stop doing it. People are tired of symbolic gestures. People are tired of words, whatever they are, whoever they are, white people, black people, Hispanic people. I'm not talking about race things. I'm talking about people at all different levels of the economic spectrum. People aren't looking for platitudes and ideas. We're looking and waiting for somebody who will do something for us that needs done that no one else is going to do. When that happens, you're great. When that happens, you're a hero. James 2:14, the last verse we'll share today. James, who is believed to be actually the brother of Jesus, who's responsible for the book of James, and that's who I believe who wrote the book of James. James, the brother of Jesus, says, what good is it, my brothers, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking in daily food, and one of you says them, go in peace, be warmed and filled, without giving them the things needed for the body, what good is that? So also faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. Faith without service is dead. Faith without meeting needs is dead. Faith without stepping out of your preferred schedule for the day and bending it for somebody else is dead. This week, we meet needs. What happens if all over the country, everybody who's with us right now, what happens if we meet needs for people who are around us? What happens if you're blessed enough financially to pay for the person's drive-in order behind you, the drive-through order behind you? What happens if people get their meal paid for and they don't even know who did it? What happens if those of us who've got financial means actually buy other people's gas this week? What happens if we actually open doors for people this week? What happens if we actually serve somebody by going on our way to encourage somebody and tell them something positive about themselves? What happens? They go on and on and on. This week, ask God to open up your eyes to see the way to bless people. And not only that, in doing so, you'll be like your master, you'll be like your servant. You can bless his heart. That's the song we're going to do right now that is written. It kind of comes out of our culture here at Crossroads. When I get up in the morning, one of my most consistent prayers is, God, if you got anything going on today, I want to be a part of it. That's the heart of this song that we wrote. We want to bless the heart of God.
Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going back to God, rose from supper. He laid aside his outer garments, and taking a towel, tied it around his waist. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel that was wrapped around him. When he had washed their feet and put on his outer garments and resumed his place, he said to them, Do you understand what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example, that you also should do just as I have done to you.
There ain't a better be wherever you want me, 'cause I know that you're working already. There ain't a better place than this to hear whatever you will say, 'cause I know that you're speaking. I'm ready. What are you doing today, God? How can I be a part? What are you doing today, God? How can I bless your heart? I just wanna bless your heart. I just wanna bless your heart. Every day I wake up, I just wanna give you anything to bless your heart. Anything to bless your heart. There ain't a better song to sing. Surrender is a melody. With every breath I breathe in, I'm singing, I'm singing. What are you doing today, God? Yeah, how can I be a part? What are you doing today, God? How can I bless your heart? I just wanna bless your heart. I just wanna bless your heart. Every day I wake up, I just wanna give you anything to bless your heart. At all times, through all things, anything to bless your heart. I'll run or I'll wait, anything to bless your heart. At all times, through all things, anything to bless your heart. I'll run or I'll wait, anything to bless your heart. At all times, through all things, anything to bless your heart. Yeah, I'll run or I'll wait, anything to bless. I just wanna bless your heart. I just wanna bless your heart. Every day I wake up, I just wanna give you anything to bless your heart. I just wanna bless your heart, yeah. Bless your heart. Every day I wake up, I just wanna give you anything to bless your heart. Every day I wake up, I just wanna give you anything to bless your heart. Every day I wake up, I just wanna give you anything to bless your heart.
Hey, if you like that song, you can find more just like it by searching for Crossroads wherever you listen to music. And this week, don't forget to uncover your hero mission in your guide and with your group. When you have anything in your life that we can pray for you about, that we can help you with, if you want to get connected, just go to online.crossroads.net and make sure you have the Crossroads app. If you don't already, it's free wherever you get apps. We will see you next week on Crossroads. There's a war going on around you that you're not supposed to know about. A battle raging that they're banking you'll passively accept like today's weather. Looks like rain, but whatever, right? The casualties are obvious, strewn across your feed like bugs in a windshield, but they're hoping you'll accept the splatter as a normal part of normal life. Just colorful guts to wash out of your view. A fleeting inconvenience. They're even working on a bubblegum flavored numbing cream for your palate so you can't taste the smoke from the burning road you drive through on your way to Target. I hear it's delicious. Why?
For our 25th anniversary, we wanted to bless a number of our Reach Out partners by giving away $2.5 million over 25 weeks. We want to bless as we've been blessed.
I guess I would have to say I grew up in Martin County here. By the time I was 16, I was addicted to all types of medicine. They was paying my way into pill doctors, my uncle was, for For the pills, just, you know, he would take all the pain pills and he'd give me some nerve pills and I'd go crazy for a week at a time. But I got on meth and meth took my sanity. I lost all sense of reality. It took me to the darkest place in my life where, as far as bad stuff, there isn't anything I haven't done. And I really didn't care. I had so many enemies, and you were done run over every good person that would help you. And like, I just loved me. But it took me to a place, I was just miserable. And I got so miserable, and enough to change my life. I'm so thankful for that low point. Because if things would have if I would have skipped by, I don't think I would have ever realized I had to lose it all to decide to change.
I was born and raised in Martin County, and so I have a lot of great memories in eastern Kentucky and Martin County. But on the other end, it's also the place in 1964 where President Johnson came and declared the war on poverty. So it's been a very impoverished place, and people have sensationalized just what happens here and have put labels on people here. Probably the thing that breaks my heart the most as I see our people is the way they're portrayed outside of this community, because probably some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life, probably some of the most wisest people I've ever met in my life, live in these hills and hollers. And so my desire has always been, I want to tell the good things of what happens here. ARO's mission is to be Christ's love in action in all that we do. ARO focuses in 3 areas. One is education. The other piece is addiction. I don't know of a family in Martin County whose life has not been impacted by the abuse and use of drugs and alcohol. And then of course the third area is bringing in short-term mission teams. We call it work and witness teams because it's not just about coming in and working, it's about witnessing the love and the hope of Christ as they're here to serve alongside of us.
I had a friend, and I got a message from her, and that's how I was doing, and she's like, you need to go to rehab. And I was like, you tell them to call me and I'll go. I left a couple of days later. I hated it the first 20 days, and then that's when I ended up at Celebrate Recovery in a rehab, and I was having a service similar to last night, and some guys like, you ought to go up there and pray. And I wanted to, but I had a chip on my shoulder where I was a tough guy, and it cost me a lot of hard time being a tough guy. After I went to the altar and prayed, I caught myself the next day in group feeling pity for strange people that I didn't even know about their struggles, and that was weird to me because I never had a heart. So for nobody but myself, if it benefited me, just one prayer, and my feelings toward myself and the world changed. When I was a kid, I can remember ARO coming to my house and painting it. Actually, Dwayne and his crew put the roof on like before my father passed away. They fixed the floors, and they're coming back to fix some more. This is a poor community, and they've served so many people, like so many people that I know, so many people that I don't know. They're such a blessing to all this community.
My prayer is always that Crossroads would receive a heart change and go back into their community and realize if it can happen in Martin County, engaging community, it can happen where we live. I want our people to be seen in such a way that when people come here to serve alongside of us, that they literally leave changed because of what people have spoken into their lives, the people that live here. That's the story I try to tell people, that this is a place that literally when you come in and experience it will change your life if you'll come in with an open heart.
And make sure you hit subscribe, or if you want to keep watching, we made a playlist for you right here.